the guys were upset with something that I said, which I knew that was going to happen. And I tend to say stuff that I think triggers people, and that's cool. But I said that, and I asked Mason this earlier, like, do you think two broke people should be dating? And I asked him that because I knew they got married at 15, so I totally understood that concept.
We didn't get married at 15.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not married. I knew they started dating at 15. I knew that.
Right.
You know, V and Alice got married, you know, young. But I totally disagree that two broke people in their 30s should be dating. I even went a step further and I said, I'm curious to get your thoughts on it, because the guys just completely hated me, but the ladies actually loved it. I said that I believe that every Black man should strive to make at least $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
I didn't say that that's the bar before you start dating, but I did say that if you're broke, if you cannot live, pay rent, pay for transportation, have food on your table, and have electricity, you cannot afford to even date in your 30s, because how are you going to bring someone like Patrice, someone like a Joy over, well, she's taken, someone like a Patrice over to your house, right? You know what I'm saying? Because now there's going to be more electricity, more water, and you're still struggling to pay your stuff. So I'm like, I don't think broke people should, when I say broke, meaning you cannot do the basics. Then I went a step further and said, and I think once you get past the basics, cool, date, but we should be striving to make at least $100,000. Because $100,000 a year is only $8,333 a month gross, down to about $5,500 net.
25, yeah.
But today, I mean, a mortgage payment is going to be $4 grand. So I'm like, do you all believe with the statement when I say, or was I wrong, or should I have articulated differently about, one, broke people shouldn't be dating in their 30s, and then two, a man should be striving to make at least six figures?
I'm semi-traditional, so I think it's fine if a woman is broke and she's dating, as long as she's not adding or bringing something to the relationship, whether she's, you know, seeing how she can like serve that man, help that man. I think it's totally fine if a woman is broke, because I don't believe a woman's primary objective relationship-wise is finances. I mean, if they're blessed, then that's cool if they can add that. But I don't believe that's a woman's requirement. But I agree. I don't think a man should be broke and should be dating. I mean, that was my objective when I basically realized, yo, I'm broke. I was like, okay, what's the fastest way for me to get to six figures to where it makes sense? Okay, boom, tech industry. Blah. And I went that route. And then even while before I was in the industry, I was making videos back then, telling dudes, obviously my content isn't about this now, but I was openly telling dudes, y'all, we need to get our bag up. I was like, we need to be making more. We need to be able to do more so we could be providers. So I don't think men, and again, I love what you said, strive. Obviously people will get triggered, but it's like, yo, it's the striving aspect where it's like, yo, even if you fall below, maybe you hit 85, 90 somewhere, whatever. It's like, as long as you're striving for that. And so, cause I mean, what you going to be doing like in terms of date wise? I mean, like,
you can't
the average date, depending on where you go to, like the average date at like just decent restaurant. I mean, if each of y'all get 2 drinks,
200.
Each of y'all get an appetizer, each of y'all get a main course, that's about $250 right there. And that's almost what $100K is like if you do it day by day. So literally, if you're going just even on a just a date and you're making like far below $100K, you just spent 2 or 3 days worth of work just for a date.
Well, I look at it like, if you're dating to get married, if your intention is to get married, if you're broke, why are you trying to date in the first place? Because if you're presenting to me that, you know, you want to date me and the same me and Alex are not married, how can I help you? If you're broke, you clearly don't know your purpose. You don't know what you're called to do on this earth. So if your intention is to marry me, as if we're dating, how can I be your helpmate? How can I elevate your business? How can I elevate you as a person to get to where you truly need to be on this earth? So it's no point of me dating you if you broke, because clearly you don't even know what you want for yourself.
And that's twofold, because there's also an experience factor that comes along with that. Like, in order for her to identify what the talent is in me, she has to have experience. She has to have experience. So when she identified like, hey, you know, and I was making good money. I mean, I was deploying, doing all that stuff, making great money. But our life elevated 10x based on her experience, and for her to say, babe, you know what? I see this in you.
You love to talk.
Go do
You can
this.
sell anything.
Not
You need to
even-
sell houses.
But it's crazy because it's not even me identifying it in me. She's like, you can sell. And I'm like, you're right. I've been selling.
But he was selling small things. Like, I need you to think bigger. Like,
You know what I mean? But look,
not chips in a vending machine. You know, not
I'm like, babe,
fingers.
let's
That's
go get this
beautiful.
vending machine business. Like,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm thinking.
But I'm like, no, you can sell houses. Like, let's sell commercial real estate. Let's do that. Like, let's sell.
Some
he's like,
larger
I don't.
margins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what? The
Yeah.
thing
Wow.
that they got
But that's where
upset
the
about,
elevation come from too, because you recognize that talent in him.
what they got upset about during the episode that Anthony and I did was that I said, I feel like my place is to help elevate a man's vision. And people said, a man doesn't need you to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, actually.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
No,
That's
listen,
my shit.
a testament to that is where we are today. And I would 100% agree with you that, yes, there are tons of men out there who can identify and do these things on their own, but most men cannot. So you need that woman to identify that in you and to elevate you there. Like, I am a visionary. She will put it in place. I execute. And that's what the man is there to do. You are there to execute day in and day out. You are there to execute. And she is there to help. And the help is through identifying the talent. The help is to leverage and make sure that everything that you do every day has nothing to do with whatever tasks are within the home. We have 3 daughters. And I love my daughters dearly. I take care of them. I'm there when I can be. And when I'm not, I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. So I 100% believe that, yes, that is one of the most important roles in the household for the woman, is to be able to identify that talent so that you can elevate. And 6 figures, I'm talking on the upper end. Like, when we hear 6 figures, most people think, like you just said, everyone thinks $100,000.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not thinking $100,000. If I'm in a marriage and I am with a woman who is God-fearing, talented, and can identify that in me, that 6 figures is on the other end of it. I'm talking 999,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, and once she actually came into the business was the year that was the first year that we netted $1 million.
Wow.
You know,
What I'm gonna say to that is,
Wow.
for any guy that says that's not what a woman's supposed to do, get in a relationship with somebody that does the opposite.
And that would also
Because
be
that's when you'll find out the value of it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
that's the truth.
Yeah.
And,
That's so good.
And then for the other part, because I want to just touch on this about the 2 broke people dating.
Yeah.
My only exception would be if it's a season or if it's been their life.
I feel you.
So, all right, my man been winning. He going through a season. All right, cool. You may give him a little time to see if he gonna bounce out of it. But if it's been their life and they in their 30s,
that's all they know.
You-
Back to
That's all
experience.
they know.
now
It's
I
It's
start,
hard.
yeah, because I always look at like my person's always attracted to that. I'm like, okay, there's something that's broken in you because you like either a fixer, or you like projects, you know, stuff like that. But other than, if it's not a season, I would probably say you need to be like Cyrus said, you need to be focusing on getting your money up to at least decent status. Like I think it's tough to tell
I
you.
don't know. Say why dudes are triggered. Why dudes are triggered and they feel like, well, I can be broke and still date women. Let's keep it a buck. Many times it's a coping mechanism. Many times they want to be distracted by a cute girl. They want all the romance. They want to feel the femininity to cope with the fact that they're not stepping it up in certain ways. And I even say that about myself at that point in time. That's why I had to chill out and focus and lock in. And so to the people, like I love what you were just saying, where you were sharing the value of your wife and how she was able to like help you in terms of your vision and grow things further. And I think about like dudes who aren't married and they're thinking, okay, I'm 30, I'm 28, I'm 32, whatever, and I'm broke, I'm not making a certain amount of money. How am I supposed to grow and elevate without that vision in my life?
Yeah.
And I would think, because I'm thinking back to myself when I was Lyft driving, like, okay, 9 times out of 10, broke dudes are hanging around with broke dudes. It's like, okay, if you don't have that woman in your life, because you shouldn't be dating. It's not encouraged you should be dating. If you don't have that woman in your life, you could probably have a version of that in reading books, a version of that in not hanging around trash dudes that ain't trying to go. It's cool to hang with broke dudes, but they all need to have a vision and all should be going after it together and encouraging one another, inspiring one another. But if you are hanging with broke dudes and they're just cool with where they're at, or they're just talking about nonsense or BS. It's like, yo, you need to change who you're hanging with. You need to change what you are consuming. And I'm not even talking about just television, but it's like, yo, what are you watching on YouTube? What are you following on social media? You know, what's inspiring you? So it's like, yeah, none of that can substitute having a valuable wife like what you have. But that's enough that it can help that man elevate and start to shift his vision enough that then income-wise and just that mindset and that potential, like what we talked about a couple times offline, that potential can really elevate him to then be at a point to date properly.
I'm gonna give guys the formula. Here's the formula for everybody. All right. If you want to play, I'll give it to y'all. It's easy to tell how much money you need to make based on a lady's color of her seats.
I thought you were gonna say her toenails.
What color your seats, babe? What color your seats? What color your seats?
If she has cloth seats in her car, and this is her car, I ain't talking about your car. If she has cloth seats in her car, you can make below 6 figures. Yeah. Now, if she has leather seats, the lady's got standards. You have to be making at least six.
Basic joints.
Leather.
Just leather. 100,000. Now, if she has colored leather seats.
Yes.
Multiple 6 figures.
Especially if it's beige or red.
Multiple 6 figures.
Yes.
But listen. Somebody said, oh, I got a Toyota and it's got red seats. I'm like, yes. Right. But if you bought the red seats in the Toyota, that means you wanted a Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like you really want it.
Because they don't want it.
You want the fancy car. Like, because the fancy car got the red seats, so you want that style.
Right. Now,
if she's got colored seats with the sign in the back, now, if you see some the stars in the ceiling, you just, you know what I'm saying, you gotta be multi-millionaire.
The sunroof go from the back all the way to the
but listen, to the back. Find a girl that's like, oh, I got cloth seats and and I'm cool with you making
whatever.
Now they can always go up, but what color your seats?
My seats are black.
What,
black
is it
leather. Yeah.
He at least got to make 6 figures.
Is the car
they're beige leather.
Is it in the headrest?
And I got the panel.
Yeah. So color.
No? Yep.
So you need him to be 6 to multiple 6 figures. What color seats you got?
Black leather.
Dang. At least got to make 6
Come on,
figures.
baby.
What you got?
It's like a plum leather. Come on.
Oh, see?
And the emblem's in her headrest.
and she's got multiple colors. She got multiple leather.
She's got white piping.
So I think it's a simple formula.